Sure. Hi, CJ. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. A couple questions for you. I know it's very early in the year, and so maybe this is a moot question, but through the years, there's always been so much talk around the Rockies about the Coors Field hangover. That is, you're able to hit a certain way back home in Denver, and you get to the road, particularly on the West Coast, the ball breaks more sharply, et cetera, doesn't travel as much. Um, a lot of guys through the years have said it's a real thing. I know the sample size is small. Have you noticed a major difference between the homestand and this road trip?
Um, Nothing crazy. No, I don't think. Didn't play. It was really my first homestand in Coors, so it's kind of hard to judge. I guess what I will say is I don't know if the effect is as much as people talk about. I guess I'm only saying that because I didn't see a clear difference right away. I think guys will maybe pitch you a little bit differently, and they might try to do things they wouldn't normally do. Maybe stay away from the curveball, throw some more changeups, throw a few more cutters, stuff like that. But when it comes to pitch movement, I didn't see a huge difference. And I guess as the season goes, once I see more, I mean, maybe I'll have a better idea about that.
Yeah, and I realize it's very small sample size for you, but figured we had you on the line, so I'd ask.
No worries.
In your opinion, can you name a few of the keys that you think it's going to take for this offense to start clicking?
Yeah, I think. I mean, obviously, you hear it time and time again that hitting is contagious, and it really is. I think once we kind of get going here, we're going to be tough to stop. I think I truly believe we have a good offense. I mean, obviously, a lot better than we've swung it so far this year. We've faced good pitchers, but that's no excuse. We're going to face good pitchers throughout the season, and we're going to have to bounce back. And I think this road trip's been tough for us, and our staff's done a great job keeping us in games. I think we need to do a better job of helping them out a little bit. Just kind of stick to our approach, man. Have fun. I think it's pretty stressful in there. I think guys aren't comfortable in the box, and who knows, one big inning that could change. So hopefully we'll see that soon, and we can relax a little bit.
Cool. And one more for me. You had 2 knocks last night, I believe. For you, was that enabled you to take a little bit of a deep breath and 2 base hits against a good staff and solid hits? I mean, does that maybe get you going a little bit?
We'll see. I hope so. I think. I mean, winning cures everything. That's kind of what I want to do. I want to win. I've been around a little bit. My swing's going to come. I'm not too pressed on it. Obviously, I wish it would come a little bit sooner than it has to start this season. But I'm confident in the work I put in, and things are going to turn around there. I'm just trying to help the team as much as possible when I'm in this little bit of rut, and hopefully we can sneak one out today, get back home, and start playing some better baseball.
Great. Thanks, man. Appreciate the time.
No problem.
Thomas, go ahead.
Yes, first of all, have you gotten off to a start like this in the past? And when you do struggle, what is it that doesn't work for you, and what does it take to get it going?
Yeah, I think I tend to start pretty slow. Unfortunately, I don't know why or what happens in this scenario, but I hit so much off field that sometimes things just click. I hit a couple fly balls yesterday for my 2 outs, and that's kind of, to me, that means I'm in a good spot. And I think I saw a couple oppo knocks yesterday, so hopefully it's slowly coming back. But hitting's so tough, man. It's there's such minimal mistakes that you can make when you're in the box, and sometimes those things kind of snowball. And I think that's where a lot of guys are at right now. And like I said, man, hitting's contagious, and hopefully we can maybe have a big inning here today and kind of get that stuff behind us and start playing some better baseball.
Yes, as far as you're concerned, is it when you do struggle a bit, is it timing? I mean, I'm going back to last year. Now, granted, it was only a few games. You didn't have a 200 average, but you also clocked some balls early. So what's missing right now? And if you could kind of pinpoint it, as you said, there were some good signs. Do you think the signs are all there? Is there another sign that you want to show up?
I mean, obviously I want results. That's kind of how hitting is. It's all about results. Good swings only take you so far. At the end of the day, you need to put results together. So that's That's the biggest factor. But to the first part of your question, it's all timing. I think hitting is so much based on timing to where if you're late, early, your swing isn't going to do what it normally would do if you're on time. So I try not to stress too much of the swing part of my swing, or the mechanic part, I should say. But just trying to get that timing back and getting the leg kick kind of synced up to the hands and the eyes synced up to the leg kick, kind of just getting everything fluid and moving in motion is usually when you're in a pretty good spot.
I don't want to get into hitting fascinates me since I never was able to do it at any age, but don't want to get into too much of a rabbit hole. But why is it that this happens all over baseball? You come out of spring training and things look pretty good, and then the timing goes when the regular season begins. Why does that happen? Or is there an answer to that?
There's a lot of factors. I mean, I didn't play one night game in spring, and you play obviously a ton of night games during the season, so you're gonna need time to kind of have your eyes adjust to that. I don't know, man. It's hard to say. Whether I don't know. It's just different. The spring training and the season, it's really hard to compare the two. And I don't really have an answer for you, unfortunately. But I guess we'll see.
Okay, I wanted to ask you about this team also. Obviously, Patrick asked you a question about the home road thing. They've been dealing with it forever. Team has struggled the last couple of years. Do you see something attitude-wise at this point that maybe the team needs to change, or is the team in a good spot attitude-wise, considering what it's the struggles of the last couple of years?
Yeah, I think we understand it's early. It's not the start any of us wanted to have, obviously, but baseball doesn't really care how you feel, really. So we need to bounce back. We need to start playing better. I think everybody does. No one's happy about how things are going right now. We're confident in ourselves. We know that we're better than what we're showing, and we want to show that we're better than how we've played so far. So that's kind of our mindset. There's no lack of confidence. We need to just kind of pick it up a little bit, put together some good at bats, and things will start changing.
Last thing for me, there are some guys on this team that haven't had a lot of service time. You have had a lot of it. Has the experience factor shown up in some of the struggles early? And do you see guys learning and maybe learning to be better?
Well, I hope they're not watching my at bats. It's hard, man. It's hard. I think guys know what they need to do at this level to be successful. I think our job as some of the older guys is just to help them relax a little bit and kind of just stick with it, man. It's a long season. I think the guys were talking about how they started off well last year and then it went downhill. So maybe this is just the opposite. We need to just put a complete game together and get things rolling. But I think our confidence needs to be high. We need to feel a little bit more comfortable out there.
Hey, I lied. I forgot about one question I wanted to ask. I remember early in spring training, McMahon said that you brought some ideas kind of based on statistical analysis, analytics, whatever the buzzword is at this point. What are some of the things that you brought that maybe some of the guys picked up on that eventually it's going to help?
I guess we'll see. I think my big thing is just know what you're good at and be good at that, right? I think too many times as hitters we try to fix things that we're not good at and kind of leave behind the stuff that we are good at. I think for each hitter it's going to be different. Their needs are going to be different across the board, and I think it's good to be vocal about those needs, what you need, whether it's pitch percent, in zone percent. There's a bunch of different things that can help hitters, but what works for one person isn't going to work for everybody else. So kind of just talk, pick guys' brains, see what works for them, and kind of go from there.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Danielle?
Hi, when you guys get home tonight / early tomorrow, it's going to be snowing and about 30 degrees. Have you had much experience playing in games that cold? And how do you think it impacts how the actual game is played?
Yeah, I've played in some cold cities. Minnesota and Detroit come to mind off the top of my head, but I think it's just something we need to embrace. it's gonna be cold. I didn't even know the forecast until you said it, so it's just kind of question jumped on me. But yeah, I think our last homestand it was actually a really nice homestand. We did have one cold game, so I'm sure the guys know how to deal with it. They've played here before in Colorado, and hopefully it's something we can kind of use to our advantage since we're used to it. And that's kind of how I see it.
Yeah, it's gonna be actually about 3 to 5 inches tonight into tomorrow. Do you have to prepare differently? Like what things do you have to do differently?
Just dress warmer. That's about all you can do. They do a good job of putting heaters in our dugout, keeping all your equipment warm and ready to go. But there's really not much you can do except put on some more clothes, wear one of those masks, and just play baseball.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.